Hello and welcome back to Innovation Never Rests. Every other week, we release a new blog and video highlighting a specific feature that's new to Dundas BI. If you're interested in learning all you can about the newest features and enhancements available in our software, then this is a series that you do not want to miss. So let's get right into it. In this episode, we're diving deeper into one of the new ways Dundas BI empowers you to better visualize and analyze your data using unique and dynamic data visualizations, and more specifically, how it enables you to uncover patterns in complex data by using small multiples. Small multiples are a series of graphs or charts that may be referred to as trellis charts, lattice charts, grid charts, or panel charts. It's a type of view that can be defined as a series of some visualization that displays the same data using the same scale and axis, but with one variable changed each time. This allows them to be easily compared. In other words, small multiples use multiple views to show different partitions of a large dataset and allow for greater analysis using dynamically repeated visuals. Take a look at these two images. The first view is data that's been represented using a single chart, and the second is the same data, however, it's displayed using small multiples. What the small multiples have effectively done is mitigate the effects of overplotting by presenting all the data at once, and they've done so in a manner that makes understanding the comparisons effortless, as opposed to flipping back and forth between views. Alright, we'll jump into Dundas BI now and take a look at how we create small multiples and what it is about ours that makes them so unique compared to those that are found in other BI platforms. Okay, so here we are in Dundas BI. What I'm going to do first is create a new metric set using an existing data set. More specifically, I'm going to use this data set that is conferences by country by year. So let's drag that on. And now since I want to analyze this by the different countries, we're going to be using this table. And what you can see here is that it's broken down by the year, it's broken down by the country, and then by the conferences per country. However, as you can tell, it's not terribly easy for me to observe or properly compare the values between each year. So what we could do is revisualize this as a data bar table. And again, this has made it slightly easier, but we're still not seeing the unique charts for each year. So how would we go about doing that? Well, we'd use small multiples. Now, let me preface this by stating that the small multiples we're about to create in Dundas BI are unlike any you've ever seen in other business intelligence platforms. While most BI software that offers small multiples in some capacities allow for a single visualization to be repeated with varying combinations, Dundas BI allows for multiple visualizations and design elements to be repeated across the varying combinations. And what this does is open up the door for countless design options that can yield even more meaningful representations of the same data. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, and you're probably wondering how we accomplish this, so let me go ahead and show you. What we're going to do is create a new small multiple using our small multiples designer. So let me just open that up. And what you see here is an interface where we can now define repeating values, not only across rows, as you might be used to in scorecards and reports, but also across the different columns. And what's really unique about this is that Dundas BI actually offers two small multiple designer modes, each of which is available for use depending on whether we're simply performing an individual analysis or if we're creating a specific pixel-perfect design with the intention of sharing it with others. So with this first default designer, I'll use the same dataset as before, and I'll bring the year into my column section. So let me go ahead and do that. And what this will do is repeat the data across the different years. I'll then select this cell in the middle, and I'll add a data visualization to it. In this case, I'll use a bar chart. Let me just resize this a little bit so it fits better within the cell. Now what I'll do is drag and drop the remaining information onto the bar chart. So I will drop the count. Let me just move our year down to columns, and I will add the countries in as well. And what I'm able to do now is basically create a different chart showing for each of the different years. So let's take a look at what that is. Let me actually make this a little bit taller. So what's really cool about this as well is that it's essentially a responsive view. So if I were to expand my Explore tab, you could actually see how the small multiples repeat in a different fashion. So you'll notice now that instead of having them all appear on one line, they're actually appearing on two rows. What else is really great is that because these are individual charts, I can now benefit from Dundas BI's brushing element. So you'll see here if I hover on Canada, it will actually highlight Canada in all of the other charts, helping us get an even easier comparison. So that's Dundas BI's default small multiples designer. What we can also do is make use of the advanced mode. With Dundas BI's Advanced Small Multiples Designer, we can now really design a very unique display that combines multiple visualizations together with content that repeats not only across the rows, but also across the columns. And in addition to the content that we're able to define in the default designer, we can also define column headers and row headers, along with elements that are placed in the top right, the bottom right, the top left, and the bottom left. With this advanced designer, we have a lot of freedom in how we customize our view. Let me show you an example of what the finished product could look like. Here you can see we're using small multiples to display the availability of hotels across different regions. So we've broken these down into distinct categories: under $200, between $200 and $250, and above $250. Using the advanced designer, we're now able to nicely visualize detailed information such as which state the hotel is in, what is the total cost of the hotel per night, what is the total number of available rooms that the hotel has, what does the hotel look like, and so on and so forth. You'll also notice that a number of different elements are being used. We have labels and data labels, we have a data image, we have a button, we even have a linear gauge. So this is a very complex view that up until now was quite difficult to create with reports and scorecards because this doesn't just repeat across different rows, but also across different columns. Well, there you have it. That was Dundas BI's new small multiples designers. These are very powerful and flexible designers that allow us to create very advanced visualizations for our reports and dashboards. So thank you all so much for watching. This concludes another episode of Innovation Never Rests. If you'd like to watch our other segments, head over to our new features page on our website. The next feature that we'll be covering in this series is hierarchy attributes. In the meantime, if you're interested in testing out Dundas BI for yourself, you can trial or download the software or can register for a live demonstration. All of the information on how to do so will be made available in the description below. Thanks. Bye.